10th-ranked Notre Dame returns home to face their respected rival, Navy, under the lights for the first time ever at college football's Cathedral.
By Samardzija, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, fire, rocket, touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that it won't be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. Landon Trailer with John Richards. Logan Trailer will be joining us shortly. Number 10, Notre Dame takes on Navy Saturday night. A lot of road games with Navy have been played under the lights, and a lot of home games with Navy have ended under the lights at night. But never has Notre Dame hosted the Naval Academy at night, JR.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. There's so much respect between these two programs. There's so much tradition. It's probably time that this has taken place. 7:30 at night, everybody's going to be gassed up, ready to go. Navy coming off a loss. You know they're going to be fired up, looking to get back on track. Now that the landscape has been set, so to speak, and we know where we are, plenty to play for. Be interesting to see how we perform against Navy under the lights, for sure.
Absolutely. And JR, do you think this is Notre Dame paying even more tribute to their respected rival Navy, kind of giving them some spotlight, if you will? I mean, a night game at Notre Dame is nothing to it's not anything to be taken for granted when you're an opponent.
Absolutely. NBC probably has something to do with that. This rivalry, this tradition, this game. Notre Dame's always tried to take care of Navy ever since Navy took care of Notre Dame. So to be in the primetime spotlight like this, both teams certainly relevant, a lot to play for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't think that this is. I think this is probably more TV driven than it is, university driven. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe our guy shows up at the game. You never know. I don't know if he'd be welcome at South Bend, but pretty big spot. This is their biggest game other than Army. So we'll see how it goes.
Always
should be a fun atmosphere for sure.
And speaking of respect, Navy has been respectable the last 2 years. They went 10-3 last year. For the first time in a while, they had 10-plus wins. They knocked off Army in that game. Army had that one loss to us. They came in ranked, and they beat them pretty good, if I remember correctly. 31-13, I believe, was that final score. They also beat Oklahoma in their bowl game last year. So Navy has been respectable under their new head coach. Started off a little bit rough, obviously, the rebuild with Coach Ken. In 2023, I think they went 4-8, or maybe even a little bit worse, maybe a tad better. But he's turning it around, that's for sure, JR. They're a brand new team, brand new offense, because this team can score the ball.
Yeah, they certainly can. Different attack, different approach than we're used to with Coach Ken, but still a lot of those same wrinkles and schemes. We have to be extremely disciplined playing Navy. That's during the whistle, before the whistle, after the whistle. There's so much respect between these two programs. I'm sure Freeman has driven home. There better be no funny business at all against this team, especially in this spot, primetime and all that. So plenty to play for here. Horvath, we've given him a lot of problems in the past, but he's certainly a capable guy. They've got, the firepower to score at any time. We have to keep them off track, behind the sticks.
Yep.
You mentioned it before. We don't want to be behind the Navy 14-0 out of the gate.
Ever. You don't want to be behind Navy 7-0, in my opinion, because if you don't score that next drive, oh boy, you're not getting the ball back till about the third quarter, I'll tell you that. Well, Navy this season is 7-1. They're 5-1 in the American. Man, as I mentioned, JR, they could score. They're averaging 39 points per game, 149 pass yards per game this year with the quarterback you mentioned, Blake Horvath, which I think is one of the best Navy quarterbacks in history. 1,143 yards and then 317 rush yards per game. Also led by Blake Horvath with 926 this season, and they're +1 in the turnover ratio. So it's another competent offense that our defense is going to have to face and step up because they're going to throw the book at us on this one for sure.
Yeah, they will. Short yardage is going to be an extremely important aspect of this game, defensively and offensively. Possessions are certainly at a premium. Can't turn the ball over. There's a lot of things that you got to do right if you're going to beat Navy. But let's be honest here. Navy's not seen a team like us yet. We're their Super Bowl every year other than the Army game, of course. And they've not seen, athletes and defense like us.
No
We
doubt.
really got to play focused and take it to them and, drive home our point that we definitely belong in the top 10 because there's a lot of people that are salty about that.
We'll get into that in a minute, but I thought we played very poorly on short down and distance against Boston College, which was scary to see because Navy thrives on that. They want to get it 3rd and 2. And then they want to get that first down with about 3 yards, and then they want to do it again. They want to get 3 yards, 4 yards, and then boom. So I thought we played very poorly on short down and distance against Boston College. That's something we'll have to see. Again, their running back, Alex Texa, 523 yards this year, 6 touchdowns. He does not get the majority of the carries. As I mentioned, their quarterback, Blake Horvath, gets the majority of them. And then their wide receiver, you'll see a lot when they throw it. You'll look to them, or you'll look to this guy to see who they're throwing to, is Eli Heidenreich. 575 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. Like I said, they're a very competent offense. Now, defensively, they have 19 sacks. They've only forced 4 interceptions, along with 6 fumbles on the year. JR, they're a very shaky defensive team. You look at the numbers. They gave up 31 to Air Force, I believe, 31 to Temple. They gave up some points to Rice and FAU. And then obviously last week, 31 points again. Defensively, they seem to have their struggles. You look at their defense, with a competent defense, you almost think that this team could have been in the rankings, but just because of those close matchups that they couldn't put teams away, and obviously the loss last week, JR, they are well beyond top 25.
Yeah, but they're still formidable. The problem with Navy is, they play with a ton of heart, right?
Right.
But they are so, I don't want to say undermanned, but physically, we're going to have 50 to 75 pounds on them, on the lines. So, they play their hearts out. There's so much demand on those guys.
Oh my gosh.
That conference is,
loaded, getting loaded.
Yeah, it's loaded, and they like to spread it around, and they like to score. So, they do what they can, the best that they can. That's why you see those possessions that they take, long-winded all the way down the field. They try to keep it away to protect their limitations on defense, so to speak. So, they can't register much of a pass rush because they're just kind of undersized up front. So it's difficult for them, but they play so hard, man, so hard.
Right, no doubt about it. Welcome into Logan Traylor. As I mentioned, he was going to be joining a little bit late. So number 10, Notre Dame hosting Navy at nighttime for the very first time in this program's history. Going to be really cool to see us give the spotlight to Navy a little bit.
Yeah, obviously, I think we talked a little bit about it Monday that the rivalry is a rich one, and it's probably one of the more respectful rivalries in college football in terms of longevity and tradition with both programs. It's a night game. And that will be obviously exciting for Notre Dame fans. I think the stadium will be rocking, but looking forward to Saturday. Hopefully, between this week, we've corrected a lot of our issues. or at least attempted.
Yeah,
So
don't want to find ourselves in a game late with Navy. That would not look
no.
good. Logan, and I'll just hit on this quickly. Navy's 7-1 this year, 5-1 to the American. They could score the ball. We talked about it. They have a very good offense with Horvath and Texa.
Yep.
And then, of course, their wide receiver that they'll look to is Eli Heidenreich. And the defense has struggled, though, this season. And that's something we need to take advantage of on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, gave up 31 last week, gave up 32 to FAU. So I think that this is a defense that, gives up points. But like any other game this year, other than probably Miami and Texas A&M, is that it's about us, and especially offensively, are we getting cute? And overthinking our play calling and our schemes, or are we just going to play to our strengths and get the job done? Obviously, that question is going, to determine our success, in my opinion, this upcoming Saturday.
No doubt about it. And then Navy began their gauntlet last week. Listen to this schedule. Whoever constructed this schedule is at North Texas, obviously was a loss. At Notre Dame, they return home to take on South Florida. At Memphis, and then, of course, the Army-Navy game. Holy crap. Wow. Last week in Denton, Texas, they fell 31-17 and got rolled very early. It was a 21-3 ball game. Just did not look good at all in that first half at all. The positive, they held North Texas to 7 in the second half. A negative, well, they only scored 7 in the second half. Horvath was held for 80 yards passing, 8 for 14, 2 interceptions, 112 rush yards and a touchdown. And the scoring just was not there last week for Navy, JR, and we see that. If you hold Navy, they are not a really good football team. North Texas really exposed and kind of opened the book, obviously, on how to beat Navy.
Yeah, listen, they got the same issues that we would have if we fell behind them. If they fall behind us and they're behind the sticks and they're off schedule all the time, it could turn into a really long, ugly day for them.
Yeah, their defense got shredded for 424 yards total, passing and rushing combined. I was pulling for them last week, but North Texas, obviously, a little bit too much for the Navy midshipmen. The time of possession Navy for this year, 31:57 per game. 31 minutes, 57 seconds per game. Logan, we got to score fast and we got to score often.
Yeah, I think even though it's a good Navy team, it's a Navy team that you don't want to get behind, and you have to start fast. You have to convert, especially on short and third down situations. It's all about our execution offensively, and I think that if we're able to clean that up and get up, a significant amount, over time they'll fold. Now, if you do the complete opposite of what I just said, now you're in for a game that you don't want to be in.
And we've seen it before. We have seen it many times. We have seen it. Notre Dame get into a game with Navy where we're thinking, are we really about to lose? And then we pull something out of our ass in the last play.
About to run 13 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, exactly. My keys to the game real quick, because I already hinted at two of them. Score fast, score often, and contain Horvath like we did last year. I thought we did a great job last year because that's the first time we got to see a new offense against Navy, and we absolutely shredded him. I remember he had that one big pass play. It was 14-0 Notre Dame in the first quarter, and he slung it over. They had like a 90-yard touchdown pass. It was considered a pass. But other than that, they did not do anything on us last year. So with that, JR, 3 keys to the game.
Well, against a team like Navy, and this has been a problem for us all year long. What's our discipline and our maturity going to be like? You have so much respect for this team and they play so hard. Can we be as mature and as disciplined as we need to be in order to, stay aggressive, play from in front? I think that's a really big, not just because it's Navy, but it's been a problem. You saw all the disciplinary things and all the late hits and the stupid penalties and the flags. You have to clean that up. All right. Especially going into the last month of the season. The second one, you got to maximize every possession against a team like Navy. You got to score every time you have the ball, at least get 3. They're going to be in it for a long day, though, trying to chase down our backs. That's number
Oh my
two. And
gosh.
three, you got to keep them off schedule. If you put them in long down and distance, they're really going to struggle, and they're going to be in even a worse off spot than they wanted to be. So, everything's about staying disciplined, staying ahead, maximizing every possession. Those are my keys to the game.
Very good. Very well said there, Logan.
All six of yours.
Okay. There. Yeah. Nothing really to. I get it.
Nothing
I get
really.
it.
You guys hit on them. I just think the biggest thing for this week is, similar to JR, discipline, but not just the way we conduct ourselves, the way we treat our opponents, like all that stuff. Like it truly is like our discipline. Are we able to go out there and beat a team's pretty handedly right out of the gate? Or is this going to be another game where we just let them hang around? And I think disciplined teams find ways to win, and in the manner of which we need to win right now, I think everybody knows, like, even though we're 10th in the CFP, like, you got to continue to prove it. You can't really screw around, with your opponents. And, going forward, I think discipline could mean a lot for this team in all aspects.
Absolutely. I mean, if we have a performance like we did against Boston College against Navy, we'll lose flat out. If we have a performance like we did against Boston College at Pitt, we'll lose flat out. If we have a performance, I think we can get away with it against Syracuse, maybe Stanford. But nonetheless, the history.
Well, let me. Can I just
Yep.
expand on that?
Go ahead.
The key to that is, you don't want it to be this inconsistency every week. Which Notre Dame team do you get? Is it the one that showed up at Boston College? I don't know if you saw what McElroy said, but and Dylan hinted on this last time. There is something to be said for playing your C game, and still winning by 15 and finding a way to,
Correct.
overcome that. So, but you don't want it to be habitual, because then you have so many questions: are they for real? Are they for not? And I think a lot of people right now, they think Notre Dame is for real. Reed Davis, he thinks they're top 5 team. A lot of the eye test people are like, they pass the eye test, they pass the metric test, they're a top 10 team. A lot of people are upset that we're 8 spots ahead of a team that beat us and has 2 losses. So, you can't leave anything open for interpretation.
Well said. And I was gonna wait. I was gonna applause for JR. That's the second straight show he's made my day.
That was good, coach.
Yeah. I was gonna wait till we get to the picks to talk about this, but the college football playoff rankings came out last night. And obviously number 1 through, you could say, 8 was no surprise. Number 9, Oregon. Number 10, Notre Dame. And then you look, man, Miami, all the way down there at 18. And the only thing I will say is the College Football Playoff Committee has, man, I sound like Ben Shapiro, they have really shown time and time again, it matters how you're playing at the time. And Notre Dame right now, as of November 5th at 9:15 a.m., is on a better trajectory than Miami. They have the same record. They played August 31st, a Sunday night at 8 p.m. It is November, and Notre Dame is on a better path than Miami. Do I agree with it? I don't know. It's a weird. I don't think we would have. I don't think you can justify dropping Notre Dame from wherever we were in the AP 12th all the way down to 19 if you really want to keep us behind Miami. But Miami has looked so poor in the last couple weeks that you just can't justify dropping Notre Dame because of it. So JR, I agree with our ranking 100%. I think there's a lot of bad with the poll, with this ranking, but I also think there's a lot right with the poll, and they got a lot of it right. I hate to say it, but it's also the first rankings show, so let's not pay too much attention to it, please.
Yeah, we have a long way to go, and quite honestly, you guys, if you are what your record says you are, and they say we do have 2 losses, but that A&M game, come on, you guys. 4th and 11, they tackle our nose guard who's about to make a play on Reed. They score on the very last play of the game. I could argue that shows that we definitely belong, because that play goes a different way. You're talking about a victory over a team who is ranked third right now.
Yeah.
Right. Some people argue should be ranked number one.
But you could
And
make
you
that
had them beat. And you didn't play your A game then either. You didn't play your A game against Miami opening night with a rookie quarterback on the road. So I think we're where we should be. Everybody else, call the ambulance, get out the tears. You still got a month to right the wrongs, and we still got a month to prove that who we are and where we belong. So I don't want to hear it. Call the ambulance. Win.
And a lot of other teams, I really do think this is a year that it's going to work itself out. You know, I'm looking at the poll here. You have BYU, Texas Tech. Okay, they play each other this week. You have Oregon. They play Iowa. Oregon plays USC. They could drop any one of those games. Okay. You're starting to get into the territory where we could be in December hosting another college football playoff.
Yeah, and the other thing is perception matters. Okay, Notre Dame fared very well last year. They beat all the big boys. They rolled through the SEC. They got to the championship game. Mm-hmm. Compare that to Miami. Everybody's waiting for the other shoe to drop with Miami once November hits. And sure enough, they're proving everybody right. They've lost 2 of 3 to 2 teams that they probably should have beaten if everybody's talking about how great Miami is. But they're not, because they completely fall off the wagon come the end of the year, and they're probably going to lose again. They're not even in contention to win their own conference. Okay? So I don't want to hear it. All you Hurricane fans, come on, bring it to me. Hop on the ambulance and find the nearest urgent care.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Back to Navy. The history between
Shalom.
Yeah, shalom. Everybody settle down here. Listen, they started in 1927 because that's what Notre Dame did back in the day. They played Navy and Army every year, but the series ramped up during 1945. You know what was going on then? World War II. And during World War II, Notre Dame was an all-male school. A lot of Notre Dame students were shipped off to the war. And Notre Dame was almost forced to close its doors before the Naval Academy used Notre Dame as a training facility and camp. And then Notre Dame, being the national brand at the time for college football, offered to play Navy in football for as long as Navy wishes. And I get frustrated when people say, you play Navy every year. You don't even read. Shut up. You don't understand the history of it. And if I think people who harp on Notre Dame playing Navy just show their ignorance to the game of college football and the sport in general. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Notre Dame leads the all-time series 81-13 with one tie in the series. And obviously, I said the series began in 1927 and has played yearly, except obviously 2020. Navy snapped a Notre Dame 43-game winning streak in 2007 and 3 overtimes. Navy also won in 2009, 2010, and 2016. Two of the losses, Brian Kelly, 2 of the losses with Charlie Weiss. Notre Dame is on an 8-game winning streak from 2017 on. And then last year was a 51-14 victory for the Irish in Maryland, I believe, where the Ravens play, perhaps. And then the last time Notre Dame and Navy met at Notre Dame Stadium was 2021. It was a 34-6 Notre Dame victory, to say the least. This is a Notre Dame-driven series. With that being said, we'll move into our Week 11 picks. I think we're in Week 11. Yes, this year is flying. Yeah. Standings. First place, Logan, 178-54. Second place, John Richards, 174-58. Third place, Landon, 169-63. And then Dylan Kearns in last place at 165-67. So that is the standings. And we'll go along here to our Brian Koberger, Jeffrey Dahmer prison inmate game of the week. We got Maryland at Rutgers, 2:30 p.m. on FS1.
Oh, God. Maryland. Yeah.
Logan loves these, man.
So, did Maryland really fire their coach?
Did they?
Did I?
I
Did they?
don't know.
I didn't
Let
think.
me.
I haven't seen that.
Did Sig get two guys fired immediately after they played?
No way they fired him already. I don't know. Make the pick,
Uh,
Donnie.
Give me Maryland.
I'm going with Maryland as well. So is Big DK. And then the non-ranked slate this week is tricky. Houston at UCF Friday night, 8 p.m. on FS1. The line has shifted now in favor of Houston. It was 1.5 to UCF last night.
I'm going to go with Houston.
Houston took an awful loss last week. I'll take them back.
Yeah, we all got Houston bouncing back. Tulane at Memphis, a massive, massive game in the American Conference. Friday night, 9 p.m. on ESPN. It's an elimination game, you think of it.
Didn't Tulane just get their
teeth
butts
kicked in.
kicked? Yeah, sure. Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis, they rebounded nicely after that bump in the road. Give me Memphis.
Dylan's rolling with the green wave. I'm going with Memphis. They looked good against South Florida. They were down late and came back and put it to them. Give me the Tigers. Stanford at North Carolina, 4:30 p.m. on the CW Network. We got old Frank Reich versus old Bill B.
North Carolina.
Yeah, give me the hoodie.
Sorry, I don't.
Neighbors.
Yeah, undervalued them last week. They made me pay for it.
They're playing better. I mean,
They are playing better.
They have improved little by little. Dylan's rolling with the hoodie or the quarter zip, whatever you want to call him. He doesn't even wear the hoodie anymore. Give me Stanford. I got Stanford on the road pulling off an upset. I think they're underdogs. Florida State at Clemson, 7 p.m. on the ACC Network. Two teams where you look at what in the world happened to these two.
Clemson just lost to Duke.
Yes. In a
Right.
shootout.
Cost me my parlay.
Called it, by the way.
God, it's got to be free shoe you, right? Oh boy. Yeah, give me free shoe you. Jesus.
Give me Clemson.
Yeah.
Dylan's rolling with Clemson as well. I got free shoe you in this one. And that will do it for the non-ranked slate. Northwestern heads to California to take on number 19 USC. Anybody have any objections or can we move on?
Move on.
All right. That is 9 p.m. Friday on Fox. Number 2, Indiana at Penn State, 12 p.m. on Fox. Well, I would say head nod, but Dylan has Penn State. Dead serious. I'm dead serious.
God. Oh,
I'm telling
Lord.
you, I'll say this. Okay. And I had an argument with one of my close friends from IU about you lose to Penn State, and I can argue you don't belong in the college football playoff. I'm that serious. Okay, they don't have a conference win. They don't have a coach. They don't have a quarterback. All the capital that you have built all year long, obliterating people and winning at Oregon. If you go to Penn State and you lose to them in that situation, all those questions come back. Oh, it's just Indiana.
It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Give me. We all got Indiana except Dylan. IU will get their third win in their program's history against Penn State. Never beaten them at Happy Valley, too. Number 5, Georgia at Mississippi State, 12 p.m. on ESPN. We got Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports on site again for Mississippi State.
Bulldogs.
Aren't they both? Wait. Aren't they both the Bulldogs?
Oh, yeah. Shoot, Georgia. Sorry.
I was waiting on which one you were going to clarify for me.
My bad. Either.
That dude, I can't stand.
I can't. Yeah.
Brandon. He's
something.
I loved when Gruden tried to get him fired.
Who you fired this week?
Georgia, but watch out for Mississippi State. Georgia's got a lot of holes this year.
Man, I like this Mississippi
I
State
do
team.
too.
I really do. They've had some bad luck go their way or not go their way this year, and I really want to pick them here, but I just can't see them beating a Georgia team. But you're right, Georgia minus 8.5. They obviously see some holes. Give me Georgia though. Uh, Game of the week, no doubt. Number 7 BYU at number 8 Texas Tech, 12 p.m. on ABC, which means it's 11 a.m. in Lubbock.
Texas Tech.
Oh.
Wow, what a game.
Yeah, and it's at noon.
Nooner. Give me Tech. BYU's getting 10. Woo!
Yeah, man. Texas Tech scored 42 last week, too. Give me Texas Tech. Dylan's rolling with Tech as well. BYU unbeaten, no more. Number 1, Ohio State at Purdue, 1 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Head nod, everybody. Except, once again, Dylan has Purdue.
This has always been a tricky place for Ohio State.
It has.
So
it has.
Probably not this year, but
yeah.
Look at Purdue. They gave Michigan a little bit of a game last week.
They did. They looked competent.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be fun?
Dylan's just throwing in the towel, isn't he?
I think so.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Purdue beats Ohio State.
Oh, man. I would have a field day with Weaver. Jeremy, thanks for watching every episode, but I would have a field day with Weave. Citadel at number 6, Ole Miss. Move on. Number 3, Texas A&M at number 22, Missouri, 3:30 on ABC. Missouri without their starting quarterback for the remainder of the season, which deems this game a head nod pick. That is one I listed as a head nod pick already, JR.
I guess we're all
6.5.
But it's no guarantee that they're going to win.
I don't know. Dylan has Missouri. Yeah, I got A&M. Number 9, Oregon at number 20, Iowa, 3:30 on CBS at Kinnick Stadium, where top 10 teams go to die.
Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon. Don't know what to make of them. Are they laying in the weeds, or are they just kind of meddling?
Dylan has Oregon. I have Iowa at home in the stripe out at Kinnick Stadium, knocking them off and knocking them out of the top 10, potentially even the playoff. Give me Iowa. Syracuse at number 18, Miami, 3:30 on ESPN. There's a feel-good win for all you Canes fans. Auburn at number 16, Vanderbilt, 4 p.m. on the SEC Network. Vandy bounced back. Yeah, figured. Vandy obviously coming off a tough loss, I believe, or they just beat. Yeah, they just lost to Texas. Yeah, they battle back though. Number 23, Washington at Wisconsin, 4:30 on the Big Ten Network. Man, it just doesn't get any easier for Wisconsin, excuse me. Wake Forest, watch out for this one, at number 14, Virginia, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Wake Forest has been a sneaky kind of, you don't know what to make of them this year, going on the road.
Give me Virginia.
This line is incredibly shady because
6.5
got boat raced at Florida State last, and it's only 6.5. It's their second roadie, but Virginia's coming all the way back across country. This line should probably be way higher than that, but it's not. Makes you wonder, Lando. Good call there. I'll take UVA, but watch out. Something suspicious about that game.
Yeah, we're all going UVA here. I thought Wake Forest would be one of the worst teams in power football this year, but I was dead wrong. 5-3 with a first-year head coach with a roster turnover is really impressive to do at that program.
This game highlights the committee's view on the ACC. You got Wake going into Virginia. They're only a 6.5-point dog, and everybody's all up in arms because, Louisville isn't ranked higher. Miami's not ranked higher. Virginia's not ranked higher. Well, the ACC.
Cal at number 15, Louisville, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Speaking of the ACC.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Oh, gosh. He said the ACC. Dylan's rolling with Louisville. I got Louisville here as well at home. Uh, First game under interim head coach LSU at number 4, Alabama, 7:30 on ABC. LSU has the chance to do the funniest thing ever.
Alabama.
Okay, you're no fun.
Yeah, I'll take Bama too.
Yeah, neither are you.
What's the interim coach bump going to look like this week? You got Auburn, you got LSU.
Look at Florida last week, man. They lost
Yeah.
by 4 points. Give me Alabama for all of us, though. Navy at number 10, Notre Dame, 7:30 on NBC.
Notre Dame, 38. Navy, 10.
Oh, you're not doing a Logan Landa prediction there?
So we went an entire episode and didn't once mention our kicking game.
I'm trying to not put it into fruition.
Have we? He has not made a decision as to who will be handling place kicking duties.
He's been saying I read a report that he's been more involved in the kicking practice this week, but
too.
no decision's been made.
So, Navy to me has always been sort of a no-win situation, right?
There's always that injury. Yeah, you're right.
You beat Navy, right? Well, you're supposed to beat Navy. You drill Navy, you're supposed to beat Navy. You barely beat Navy, you stink because you barely beat Navy. So,
yeah,
as nice as this game is for us to hopefully just chalk it right up, I'm not sure the rest of the country is going to give us any credit unless we really come out and play the type of game that we need to play. Blue and gold has us winning 42-16. I'm going to go 49-12 Irish.
No, Dylan has the Irish 24-14, and I'm rolling Notre Dame 63-13. I think we have an offensive explosion at Notre Dame Stadium under the lights. Really do think we have an explosion of an offensive game. Well, that will do it for us. We are back next Monday to preview or recap the Navy game. I always do that. And then I will be back later on today to preview Notre Dame men's basketball against Detroit Mercy. With that being said, a lot happening at the Gold Numbers Report, folks. Don't miss out. Subscribe, like, comment, reshare. Help us out a little bit. That being said, go Irish, and we will see you all later. Shalom.